Hey everybody, it's Kelly Oblak for this week's Free Flow Wednesday on the Crafty Maven Getaway. This is our inspiration board for the week, and I was inspired to scrapbook a Christmas photo, and then those gumdrops reminded me of something that I'm going to use, the embellishments that you'll see that come together. So I'm going to start with this background paper, and that red polka dot background paper is from Elle's Studio 'Tis the Season. The paper is called Good Cheer. And I have a photo of my stepson, daughter-in-law, and my two grandkids there with Santa Claus. And I had that white Santa acrylic from Elle's Studio from this Christmas. And so I wanted to use it on something that featured Santa, and I just thought, I have pictures of my grandsons with Santa, but I really liked just using it for this photo of all of them. So that photo, by the way, is a 5x7, so a little bit of a different size. I'm starting off with a bunch of papers to my right, and I'm going to do paper strips on this photo, or with this photo. I originally was going to do that stripe paper both horizontal and vertically, but I didn't like it when they ended up together. So that Christmas tree there, that Christmas tree paper is from American Crafts, and it's an old collection. I think it might be Peppermint Express, but I'm not positive. Then I have that pink snowflake, and that is really a border, and that is from Ellie's Studio as well. Then I had that kind of red diamond paper there. That paper is from American Crafts. It's the Be Merry paper, the Sweets and Treats. And then I'm just looking at a couple of other things. I just grabbed my scraps out of my Christmas stash. I have that really close at hand right now because I'm working on my December daily. Then I found that pink, like polka dot there. Or pink. That would be aqua, that aqua polka dot that I just put down. That is from Ellie's Studio Joyful, and the paper is called Warm and Cozy there. I added in a little bit of a Christmas tree border in the horizontal strip there, and that Christmas tree border is from the Ellie's Studio Joyful Making a List paper, and that's just the border. I'm kind of playing around with that green paper on the right, but that's not going to end up staying. I'm going to change that a little bit. Or that green paper on the left. Sorry. Man, I'm a little rusty doing voiceovers because I've been doing so much real time lately on my December daily. And I do have a playlist with those. If you go to my actual channel, I have a playlist for 2017 and 2016, and I'll be scrapping 2017 probably through the 1st of January. But I should be up to date. I'm videoing this a little bit before that, but I'll be darn close to up to date if I'm not completely up to date. I might be a day off just because of Christmas holiday. Anyway, back to this layout. So now I'm putting things down here. And this layout is a scrap lift of another layout that I saved on my tablet and thought I had saved it to Pinterest, but I had not. So I'm really sorry I can't attribute this, and moreover, I deleted the photo that I was working with when I taped this because I'm actually doing the voiceover a couple of days later. But I didn't save it like I thought. I thought I'd just be able to pull the photo back from Pinterest, but I can't because I deleted it all. So I'm really sorry about that. If you recognize this and did this, I remember that the layout had kind of a navy background, but other than that, I don't remember. So I'm really, really sorry. But it is a scrap lift, and it's fairly close to the scrap lift. I flipped the, I think I flipped it about 90 degrees, if I remember correctly. Yeah, because it was a horizontal photo. So if you turned where the Santa is now, that horizontal would actually be a vertical on the left side of the paper of the original layout. So now I have put down a doily, and those doilies come from Hobby Lobby. They're the 6-inch Sunny Side Up Bakery doilies there. And I just trimmed these papers randomly. I didn't do any particular kind of trimming there. And I decided I really wanted the doily to stick out on the other side. I think if it had been a 4x6 photo, it would have worked the way it was supposed to, but because I used a larger photo. And I didn't think to grab 8-inch doilies until the one was down. So now I'm going to go on a little bit of a, I don't know what I would call it. This side is much harder for me to get down to how I want it to look. So that's just a matter of kind of arranging the strips. And I thought at first I was going to put the vertical strips over the horizontal strips. It actually ends up the other way. And there are things I know. I know I want that green tree, Christmas tree paper right to the right of the photo. I just like the way it sets off the photo, kind of frames the photo. I did not use any kind of matte on this. At one point I thought I was going to, and then just was having such fun scrapping I forgot about it, and I like the way it looks, the way the layout looks in the end, so that's a-okay. Like I said, I'm just kind of doing this and then leaving the strips, gluing it where I know it's not going to interfere with anything else, and then just leaving the strips as long as they are, because then I can figure out what I want to do. So I was thinking about, I like that red paper there, but it wasn't set off from the background paper, so I was going to use that green, a little bit of a strip of that green paper, but I didn't like, as I was working with this, I didn't like the way the two greens were so close together. I think if I'd used a green on the other side of that aqua dot paper, I would have been okay with it, but I ended up not liking it. And now I know I like that snowflake border paper, so I'm going to leave that as it is. And some of these things are scraps that are just in my folder, so I don't know the names of things. I have that border strip there, and that blue border strip is from the Elle Studio Joyful Warm and Cozy paper, and I'm kind of playing with where I want that to go. Thinking about was thinking about it maybe on the horizontal, on the bottom of the horizontal, but didn't end up liking that. So now I'm going to go on a little bit of a goose chase here, because well, not a goose chase, because I guess I do use this, but I cut it in such a way that I didn't like the way it actually looked. It left too much space. I wanted it to be a little bit closer, because at this point I think I know at least some of what I'm going to use for my border strips. And then I decided to tuck the vertical strips underneath the horizontal, so I just cut those off at a place that you wouldn't see them. My ATG has been giving me fits lately. If you watch my December daily videos, you know that. I don't know what's wrong with it right now. I probably need to give it a good cleaning. Sometimes when there's too much glue stuck to one of the rolls, it doesn't work very well. So anyway, and I'll worry about kind of cutting this down more precisely even, because I think I come back and cut it a little bit more again. Oh, nope, I did it right there, so never mind. So I like the way that looked and just left it. And the horizontal strips obviously give it a shelf. I could have just done that, but I like how the vertical strips also work that way too. So now I'm realizing I didn't cut that quite right, and I need to cut a smaller bit off. Now I use doilies all the time, so the fact that I have a piece of one isn't a big deal for me, because I will definitely reuse them. All right, so getting that down. This is my first 12 by 12 I've done of Christmas, and I just love how it turned out. I love the bright colors here, because they were a brightly colored family, so that works. All right, so what I decided is, while I was talking, I tested that blue border strip to help set off the red paper on the left there, and I really liked it. So I just cut a smaller piece down and decided to glue that. Then I discovered that I had accidentally glued 2 doilies, so I have to go back and take one off. Luckily I did it and I didn't rip it. Right, so now this is where the second part of the inspiration board comes in. The gumdrops reminded me of these acrylic pieces, so I'm going to use those. So I have these acrylics. They're all from Elle Studio, and I believe they were all from this year. So I have a very large holly leaf, which is much larger than I thought they were going to be. So I thought they were like, I don't know, half that size. But it's fine. I like how it works on this layout. It gives it a lot of presence, and it reminds me of gumdrops. So now I'm kind of playing with things that I can use. I pulled out my die cuts and just cut up parts from Elle's Studio in the aqua. But I liked the word magical, but then didn't like it on the layout. And then I found that tag, and that is from American Crafts, the Peppermint Express collection. It's from the die cut and cardstock shapes, which that pack is called Cookies. And now I'm playing around with some pieces again from Elle's Studio, and I was thinking about bringing some pink up to that tag with a present, but I didn't love how it looks. So now I'm going to use some of the star acrylic pieces, and they do remind me of gumdrops sitting on that sheet of paper. So I'll glue that tag down. I'm going to move it again, but I like where it is right now. Kind of looking at some puffy stickers to see if maybe I could add some of those. But the more I look, the more I decide I really like the amount of embellishment that I have on here right now, and don't think I really need to put a lot. Now I am using my ATG glue to glue these down. You really don't see that unless you get like a little bundle of it. If it stays flat, if the ATG stays flat, you really don't see it once it's down on the layout. So that's a little clue. You can use your ATG, and I want to use a very strong adhesive for this because these pieces are actually heavy. So if I get a little bundle of something, I just kind of rub it off, and I have plenty of other ATG on there. And this is where, when I went to reach for these letter stickers, I actually hit my camera, so I apologize there because now my layout's not going to be straight for you on the camera, and I didn't realize that. So but I think you can really see it, even though it's at an angle, which don't crane your head, that's bad for your neck. Since I'm a massage therapist, I can say that. So I go to these Webster's Pages green mini letter stickers, and they're old. They're from 2014, and they are from the Gingerbread Village collection, but I love them. This green is so perfect for so much Christmas scrapping. And there's so many letters on these sheets. I've used them quite a bit for my December dailies and other Christmas scrapbooking, and I still have a lot left, as you can see. So the title is just going to be Visit with Santa, and I'm using they're really, really tiny, so I'm using my tweezers, my cutter bee tweezers to get those down. I was thinking about buying a new tweezers because mine have lost like the finger pads to make them more comfortable, but really not that big of a deal. So I decided not to do that. And I'm getting my spacing here because when I first put it down, I didn't love how the spacing ended up, so I changed it a little bit. All right, so I was just tapping that tag because I want to put some twine through there and realized that that would be a great opportunity to get just a little bit of pink up in that corner. I don't have the blue, but I think green and blue are so closely related, the aqua blue, that's fine. That twine is from We Are Memory Keepers. It just comes on a card. And then I realized that it's so close to the edge, I just bring the tag up to the top and then put the twine through. So here is a detail shot and a still shot and a couple of detail shots. Hope you're all well and hope you had a Merry Christmas. And for those of you still celebrating, Merry Christmas to you. We'll be back with another layout again soon. Bye!